Shalom and good day all, this is the Healing Tuning 9 back again for, well, some more Fool's Gold, as it's been quite a while since we've had some Fool's Gold on the channel. And with this Fool's Gold, I'll be covering DC Comics Absolute Flash. And if you are new to how Fool's Gold works, I do have some previous videos that you can check out on the channel. But I'm also willing to let you know how it works now. So the idea of Fool's Gold is that sometimes there are titles that come out and you're a little bit unsure of. And of course, these things have their own price range and whatever. So with this, we have the rating system, but the rating system has a slight change to it. Of course, there is the main rating for cover art and story, but there's also a total system which applies to the area of the price. So is this comic worth what I'm paying for? Yes or no? And the price is also applied to the cover, the art, as well as the story. But what is the overall price that I also paid for the comic itself? As we can see here, it shows that it is $4.99, to which in the currency conversion here in Australia, it translates to $8.95 Australian dollars. So just under $9. So moving into the first area first, and that is, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough, it does, to which I give this cover a 6.5 out of 10. Now, this is where I use the area of how much I believe the cover is actually worth compared to what I actually paid for it overall. So for this, I believe the cover is at least worth $2. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art. Now, as you can see there is a total for the artist as well as for the writer. I'll get to that a little bit later as to how much they actually earn in relation to the creation, or in other words, the making of this comic. So we'll have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. And also what is happening story-wise with the characters in this absolute DC universe. So as the story begins, we meet up with the character of Wally West. And we learn that where we're seeing him now is after he has obtained the Speed Force powers. And he has no idea what's happening, how they work, or whatever. And we do get to learn a little bit about his home, where he's been settled, but also what's also been happening in his lifetime. As we start to move towards the middle of the story, we learn that Wally West is being chased by some people connected to the Fort Fox facility, to which his dad also works at. We also learned that Dr. Barry Allen also works there too. And of course, some of these characters are meant to make up who will become like the future villains of Wally West Flash. As we slowly draw towards the end, before we jump to the end, we learn that this is around the time the events took place to which he actually lost, or better yet, gained his powers into the Speed Force, whilst there was an experiment taking place. As we draw closer towards the end, we get to see a year later, and something that has happened to the Barry Allen he knew. Is he actually dead or not? We don't know. This is a comics universe. And the person who is believed to be, who looks like they could be the Mirror Master, or who will be the Mirror Master in this story. But I want to just bring up something, especially in the regards to the character's appearance. I'm not too sure if anyone else has picked up on this, and that includes Jace and maybe Rocky too. Should any of them check out my reviews on this from the Comic Boom channel, and Jace from Jason the Comic Source channel. It's that the Mirror Master, or who the person we will believe to be the Mirror Master villain, might actually be Wally West's own father, Rudy West. Right, that's what I sort of gathered by the character's appearance, silhouette. So for the internal art, I gave a 6.5 out of 10, to which I believe it's worth at least $2. Next is the area of the story, to which, of course, the stories must consist of time, location, and cast. Of course, I have already brought up a question in relation to the story. But it would be nice to hear other people's answers on this, of who they believe the character might be. So in the area of time, we get 2 days ago and now, now was actually used about twice in this story. We also had 1 day ago, as well as 1 year later. We moved to the, with the area of the location, we learned that it takes place at Fort Fox. We learned that Wally West is the son of someone who works on a Defense Force base. And of course, they're doing their own experimentations. We learned that Barry Allen's there as well. We also meet some of the people who appear to be villains later on in the story. Jesse, Lisa, Harkness, and of course the captain, of who will be Captain Cold. And of course, will Rudy West be the Mirror Master in this universe? And that's the question that I have for this story. So moving into the story rating, it did actually lose a number of points. And I ended up bringing it to a 5.5 out of 10, to which I believe the story is worth $1.50. Now, the overall total for the artist is $4. The overall total for the writer is $1.50. The overall total put together is $5.50. So I wouldn't mind actually checking out the next issue of this series and of this run. Of course, it's still going to have to go through the Fool's Gold. I mean it. It's going to have to go through the Fool's Gold until it earns its way into going into just general comic reviews. So it would have to... the overall loss of money in this is about $3.45 of the $8.95 that I originally paid for it. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.